Sis, we need to talk. Sometimes we talk so much about what they did to us that we forget to look at the mess we made too. Yeah, I can heal what I acknowledge. You have to acknowledge. Did you know that as many as 80% of Americans report that they've experienced emotional abuse in relationships, workplaces, and friendships? That means the damage doesn't just live in obvious breakups or big dramatic moments. It hides in daily, subtle ways in how we treat each other and ourselves. Did you also know that living in a relationship filled with conflict and unhealthy dynamics can be more harmful to your mental health than being alone? These are the quiet consequences we rarely talk about. And that's what today's episode is all about. Hi, my lovelies. It's your girl, Shy. Thank you so much for chiming in with me today, right here on the Chiming with Shy podcast. This is episode 4. Welcome to The Damage You Do. The theme is consequences. Yeah. Hey, sis. Welcome back to another episode of Help, I'm Toxic with your girl, Shy, from the Chiming with Shy podcast. Once again, CEO of Empowerment Network, but you already know that. Last week, we peeled off the mask. We talked about identity versus image, how we show up polished, but still feel unhealed underneath. Today, we're going even deeper. This episode is called The Damage You Do. I'm not here to shame you. I'm not here to shame myself. I'm here to take accountability. I'm here to shine a light. Because sometimes we talk so much about what they did to us that we forget to look at the mess we made too. Yeah. We're taking accountability in this 7-week series. Help, I'm Toxic. Call in, because we do got a number now, 513-428-6611. That's 513-428-6611, and chime on in with your girl Shy today. Let's be real. Toxic behavior is a ripple effect. It doesn't just stop with you. It hits your kids, your partner, your business, your friendships, your dreams, your mental health. It hits you. Think about it. When you shut down emotionally, who feels that? When you lash out instead of communicating, who carries that weight? When you self-sabotage opportunities, who misses out on the blessings that would have flowed through you? Yeah. I remember a season when I was operating straight out of pain. I was productive, but petty. I was achieving things, but avoiding accountability. And let me tell you, God can't bless who you pretend to be. He'll pause everything until you stop bleeding on the people who did not cut you. I love that. Please pause this right now if you need to take a deep breath, because this is a moment when you realize you might be the problem and the solution. This is the confession segment. I promise to keep it raw and real. I once lost a friendship I deeply valued. Yeah. I lost a true friend. Things happened. Words were said. But I know that I took anger out on her that had nothing to do with her. It had everything to do with a person that I was with and him mistreating me. And so I took it out on her, which caused our friendship to dwindle away. Not because she betrayed me, but because I projected my own insecurities onto her. I assumed she was judging me when she was really setting boundaries. Instead of asking questions, I built walls. Instead of listening, I went quiet. And that silence, that ego, cost me something I can't replace: a genuine friend, genuine sisterhood. See, toxic traits aren't always loud. Sometimes they do show up in silence, avoidance, and pretending you don't care. Trust me, I was the queen of not caring when I did. Yeah. We say I'm protecting my peace, but really we're protecting our pride. That ego, man, is a cookie monster. Yeah. What have you lost because you refuse to heal? Maybe your child stopped talking to you. Maybe your spouse, friends. Maybe your man pulled back. Maybe your business never grew because you can't take constructive feedback. That's the damage you do. But here's the grace part. It's not too late. It's never too late. When you have breath in your body and you have your sis shy, you can take accountability and still be lovable. You can apologize and still be powerful. You can rebuild and still be redeemed. Yeah. Let's shift from guilt to growth this season, and next season, and the next season after that. Accountability is not punishment, it's a pathway. Step 1, acknowledge the pattern. Yeah. Be honest about what triggers your toxic behavior. Step 2, apologize without deflection. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, but blah, 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 blase, blase. Take accountability. I'm sorry for projecting my insecurities on you. I will do my best not to do that anymore. I'm sorry for the hurt I caused. Even if they don't forgive you. Yeah. God sees your repentance. God sees your heart. Step 3, apply the lesson. Growth is a proven change. Growth is a proven by behavior change. Yes. Not pretty captions or quotes. And remember, it's okay if people still see the old you. They will. Just don't let them find you there. Don't let them find you there. Don't keep repeating those bad behaviors. I had to catch myself yesterday. My husband and I, we overcame our toxic marriage. Yes, we did, by the grace of God. Because we were definitely headed for the big D, ends with the E. Yeah. But God. Had to catch myself. I'm like, wait, I can't react in the same way. I have to step up and change my behaviors, especially in this moment, because life brings us back into a cycle. It's a cycle, but life brings us back to a point where we have to go through the complicated stuff just to show life that we've actually changed for the better. Yeah. It's time for some affirmations. I want to say some affirmations. I am no longer available for self-sabotage. I want you to repeat after me. I am no longer available for self-sabotage. I am safe to be accountable. I am safe to be accountable. Some people think they're going to get a beating for being accountable, but saying I'm wrong. Some people think they're going to get a spanking It hurts them to be wrong. It will heal you to be accountable. So once again, I am safe to be accountable. I can heal what I acknowledge. Did you know that you can actually call into the Chiming with Chime podcast? Yes, it's 513-428-6611. That's 513-428-6611. Chime in with your girl Shy today. Call in, give a shout out. I can heal what I acknowledge. I can heal what I acknowledge. You have to acknowledge the hurt, the pain, the bitterness, the sadness, the unhappiness. You have to acknowledge your emotions. You have to, so you can heal and move on. I forgive my past self for the damage she did while trying to survive. I forgive my past self for the damage she did for trying to survive. Yeah. Grab your journal. Grab your cute journal. Sis, we need to talk. Grab your cute journal. You know the one. The sis, we need to talk journal. Yeah. Write this prompt. Where have I been the villain in someone else's story? Where have I been the villain in someone else's story? And what will I do differently now? Where have I been the villain in someone else's story, and what will I do differently now? Yeah. Then write one tangible action you'll take this week to repair something. Text, a prayer, a boundary, an apology. Healing isn't about perfection. It's about the truth. It's about responsibility. It's about vulnerability. It's about authenticity. But most importantly, it's about accountability and responsibility. Yeah. Sis, I know for a fact that there are consequences to toxic behaviors. It's called self-sabotaging behaviors, period. Self-sabotage, period. And this episode is called The Damage You Do because we need to take accountability. We need to understand that we are not the victim. We're not victims. We're not victims. We're not victims. We're not victims. In this episode, we were real about how toxic barriers can have an effect on our mental health. But let's talk about how toxic barriers can affect your kids, your partners, your dreams, and your mental health. Let's talk about that really quickly. A couple years ago, my husband and I did a video called, it wasn't a video, it was a podcast episode together. And it was called The Truth About Being in the Wrong Relationships. Actually, it was called How Wrong Relationships Can Damage Your Child, or something like that. How wrong relationships can affect children. Something along the lines of that. And it can, like, for example, I was in a wrong relationship when I had my first son. I can't say I regret that because my son would have never been here if I had not gone through that situation. And I wouldn't be as strong and as competent as I am had I not gone through that relationship either. My son got taken away from me because I called the cops because he was being physically abusive to me while my son was sleeping on the bed, 5 weeks old, by the way. So that jeopardized my child's bonding with his mother. He doesn't have his biological mother in his life, and I know he loves me. I know he wants me. And also with that, we were able to get joint custody. So I'm still capable and able to see my son if it wasn't for, you know, a complicated BD and his people over there trying to block my bonding and my parental rights that I legally have with my son. However, that just goes to show you that we have to make better decisions and use our spirit of discernment when we are dealing with narcissistic people. With that being said, being in the wrong relationship can definitely take a toll on the children, so be mindful of that. We had a confession segment where I spoke about a relationship, a friendship, a really genuine friendship that I missed out on because of my insecurities and the issues that I was going through personally with my boyfriend at that time. I don't regret that, but I know I missed out on a true, genuine friend, a lifelong friend. So it's okay. I'm not feeling sorry for myself, and I don't want you to feel sorry for me either. But I want you to consider a time where you lost out on something or where you messed up, and you take accountability for where you messed up. We also went over some affirmations that I like you to take very seriously and journal as much as you can. The power is in the pen. I'm telling you, when you write it, you'll retain it. You can write it down and forget about it. And months later, and you come back and follow up with what you wrote, and you'll see that you're actually living what you wrote. And then you'll experience the magic that really happens when you write to retain. Yeah. Next week, we got to episode 4. Thank you, Lord, we got to episode 4. Yes, so this was episode 4, the damage you do. Theme, consequences, because yes, everything has a consequence, whether they're good or bad, happy or sad. Yeah, but next week we're going to be talking about the breakup you need. The breakup you need, and the theme is separating from self-sabotage. Separating from self-sabotage. Why does every episode we kind of talk about self-sabotage or toxic relationships or toxic traits? That's because we're all about detoxing our lifestyle so that we can be living in our purpose, living freely in our purpose. Sis, if you thought this episode hit home, share it with your friend who's ready to stop doing damage and start doing better. Yeah. Tag me at the Chiming with Shy podcast and use the hashtag help I'm toxic so I can repost your breakthrough. Yeah. And next week, once again, we're talking about the breakup, separating from self-sabotage. That's when we cut the final ties to the toxic version of us. Until then, love loud, heal louder. This is Shy, and I'm signing off. I hope you're doing well today. I hope you're not letting any negativity get in your way. I hope you're pushing through. Although somebody may have gotten on your nerves today, you will get through it by the grace of God. So let me also remind you that there's a book just for you. It's called Sis You Need a Do-Over. This is the hardback. This is the paperback. You can also get it free if you have Kindle. If you have access to Kindle, you can download the ebook for free. God bless you, my lovelies. I'll see you next week on the Chiming with Shy podcast. So make sure you lock in with your girl Shy every Tuesday and tune into my social media platforms and engage with your sis. Like, it's ghost town around here. Yes.